This is every level top players are scared of. Let's find out what levels I'm going to be beating after Bloodbath.
All of the hardest levels in the game seem unassailable to your average player. Of course, there are those who spend the time and effort to build their skills to be able to handle them. Players like Zoink, Popoff, and the other top players who go
and TeejVeen
around beating everything that winds up on the list, and even challenges beyond that. But there's some levels not even they were willing to give a go. Levels that stand out from the rest in terms of how intimidating a prospect going for them is.
Like Can't Let Go.
These are the levels every top player was scared of.
Zoink beat Boo Womba, no?
One of the biggest examples of a level all the top players ducked was Boo Womba. Players like WizKid and Tyago had given
this is like a really hard memory level, right, chat?
attempts to it, but inevitably got sidetracked and went on to different projects. For a level that was initially placed outside the top 10, it quickly found its way up to the number 3 spot on the list, going to show just how much people underestimated it at first. From its initial release, it took over a year for anybody besides its verifier East Shark 1 to beat it, and the eventual first victor was not a known top player. Because of the lack of competition for the first victor of Boo Womba, Aghanom was able to come in and claim the first victor title through sheer determination and 92,172 attempts.
Wow!
The level had been known far and wide for it not having any victors, with that being its main selling point to the community. Once the curse was broken, only then would Popoff and Zoink go on to beat the level, and not even take that
this thumbnail's kind of crazy, bro.
long in doing so. In a way, it was a paper tiger for the top echelon of players who likely psyched themselves out due to its reputation in the community. Nowadays, the level has 5 victors, which isn't an abnormally small amount for a level in the top 10 currently.
Based after base, that's the one Vortrox made.
Speaking of Akuna-kun, his other top 25, Based After Based, also took quite a while to receive its first victor. It has its own gimmick of only using 1-time speed dual gameplay with no spikes, saws, and slopes throughout the entire duration.
Let's go. W gifted as always. Appreciate you.
Conventional levels such as these almost always take longer to receive a victor. Add on the fact it was unrated for a very long time, and you have a recipe for a ducked level. When it did finally get rated, none of the established big-name players decided to go for it. Once again, it'd be left open for more underrated players to snag an achievement in this modern-day top play scene where almost everything goes to Zoink or Popoff frame 1. For this level, its first victor would end up being WH Fire, who is also a victor of Nullscapes, which we'll talk about later. Even for a player as good as him, he described the weeks of learning the level as actual hell and suffering. It just goes to show how hard this level actually is to approach. To this day, the level is one of the lowest victor counts outside the top.
Are most of the most terrifying levels just memory levels?
10 and only 3 victors.
Or like Learny-esque levels? Like, that makes sense. I know about Codependence.
Codependence in the 2-player game mode as a whole may just be the most—
I guess my take on not loving memory levels is not the hottest take I thought. Maybe it's kind of a cold take.
avoided things on the entire list. It's a very well-known meme that Zoink will never do Codependence, and it's pretty—
Well, that's just because top players prefer skill-based levels. Me and top players have something in common. One could argue that perhaps that means that I'll be a top player someday.
simple to explain why. 2-player is an entirely different way of playing than anybody is really used to, unless they specifically train that skill from the ground up. While some people like WizKid have successfully done so by progressively playing harder and harder 2-player levels, it's like asking people to relearn the game as they know it, and a lot of them aren't willing to make the time sacrifice necessary just for a few extra list completions. When Puckles—
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It's like the longer you spend time working on something and developing the skill for it, your ego kind of attaches itself to it more. This happens a lot with games in general, but specifically in GD. I argue that a lot of players who have like over 1,000 hours in the game, I feel like they might talk themselves into a corner because they have a bit of an ego attached to their performance in the game. Therefore, they feel more discomfort with going for more jumps in difficulty for new hardest because it makes them feel illegitimate at the game again. It makes them feel like they're Bambi walking on the ice again, and that feels bad when you have over 1,000 hours in a game. I think that's something that you should fight against. I think that's your ego lighting up a bit. I think it's important to always feel comfortable trying and failing without having it feel like it's a personal failure. It's just like you're trying at something that's outside of your current skill range. Therefore, you're pushing your limit. Therefore, you are actively improving, even if your ego is telling you like, no, I'm already supposed to be the best. Like, it's bad.
Verified Codependence solo, it quickly led to a lot of infighting over whether it should be added to the demon list or not. It was so
It's like if frickin' Mozart was making a bunch of songs and then one day he decided to pick up sculpting, and then he was going to his friend like, oh man, dude, I sculpted a sculpture for the first time. It looks like Dookie. Then his friend has full right to punch him in the face and be like, dude, you've never sculpted before. You thought being a virtuoso musician was gonna frickin' make you a good sculptor? Are you stupid? Life is all about trial and error and failure. You either get comfortable with failing 1,000 times and getting one win, or you never try in life anymore because you're so scared of losing.
Controversial, the demon list rules were rewritten multiple times when it was added, removed, and then added again, all because of how contentious the issue was. The fact it's so difficult for people to grasp this kind of gameplay makes the examples of those who do more impressive. Doggy and Diamond are both established top players who put in the time to do Codependence, and it stands out as an impressive achievement of theirs. They didn't have to do it, but they still did it. There's also the lively sub-community of people who fully dedicated themselves to 2-player levels and exploring that skill as much as they can. Resources like the 2-player list give people options for how to go.
That being said, I don't know if I would ever play 2-player levels. It does... Like, and we talked a bit about this because my hand was getting a little sore from Bloodbath, so I played the game for the first time off stream with my left hand. It does feel weird. Like, it feels weird to play game with your non-dominant hand.
Go about developing that skill.
So I certainly can see why someone would be like, oh, I just don't want to do that at all.
And finding others who are doing the same. Their acceptance on the Pointer Crate only gave more people incentive to check it out and give 2-player a chance. Players like Puckles, Konski, Motor, and more brought this community from a side thing to being a part of the regular competitive scene for the game. Codependence itself only ranks at the 60 spot on today's list, which shows 2 players still has a lot of room to become even scarier as time progresses.
Nullscapes
is the hardest single game mode level ever verified, specializing in the robot game mode. It was verified by Zoink back in September of 2024, and much like the previously
people love
mentioned
Nullscapes.
Boo Womba, it remained as one of the 2 levels in the top 10 nobody wanted to play. The level of robot skill required is hard to find, as prior to Nullscapes, not a lot of levels focused in on it as a main skill set. The level was so infamous that multiple people were cheating progress runs on it just for the attention it would inevitably bring. Adri420 was the initial progress frontrunner, being a silent clubstep victor and making a push all the way to the ending from 0, before disappearing from the community altogether.
This level does have aura.
It's sad just how close they got to making history before giving it all up. From there, SpookXD would grind the level in the background, uploading progress to a secret channel with entirely unrelated names before revealing his secret hardest to be Nullscapes. Similarly to Boo Womba, once the first victor came and its boogeyman status was destroyed, only then would more victors start to flood in. As it stands, we now have 7
Do you think, like, that's something that annoys me so much with this game in particular? Like, I feel like people can be so negative and they'll be like, this level's impossible. No one will ever beat this. And then you get a first victor and then everyone's just like, okay, cool, I'll try it. Like, at what point are we going to learn as players to just believe in ourselves? Why does it take someone else achieving something before us for us to feel any confidence in going for it? That's L mindset, L mental in my opinion. Just freaking try stuff, bro. The people who end up being the first victor for stuff are the ones who are just like, well, you know, I'll try it, and if I fail, I fail, but if I win, that's cool. It pisses me off, bro. It pisses me off that that's how so much of our human nature is, where it's just like, it's hard for you to go out on a limb until you see someone else do it, and like, then you just follow suit. You're not a leader, you're a follower. You're freaking geese. You're geese, bro. You're geese.
Nullscapes victors, which actually makes it one of the more completed levels in the current top 10. The most recent example of...
Sorry, I just want to be clear. Like, the reason why that frustrates me is because I just feel how much of the community can be kind of like negative and just kind of like they talk about how things are just like impossible and they put down others. And then it's like the second anyone proves that the impossible is possible, then they're just like, oh, okay, I'll try. Like, that's cringe. Am I crazy? It's cringe to have both of those sentiments at the same time of like putting others down and being like, no, it's way too hard. It's way too hard. And then it's like, and then like they're turncoats the second someone's able to do it. That's what frustrates me.
The level top players are scared to attempt is Cognitohazard. The level was created for Matt Mart's Civilization contest, completely based around WizKid's unique skill set, in the hopes that nobody else in the contest would be able to beat the level before the time was up so they could win. It succeeded at that. In fact,
it's like if you think back to like, think about the space race. Guys, you can't comprehend this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm Unk. I was born after humans had gone into space. But think about that. There was a time not too long ago, 100 years ago, humans had never gone into space before. Like, yeah, it's easy to question, be like, that's impossible. That's like, how can you say with absolute certainty that anything is impossible when time and time again, humanity proves that what was once seen historically as impossible becomes possible? How? At some point, you need to look at history and recognize that maybe you're one of the people who is like very narrow-mindedly looking at stuff. At some point, you have to be like, okay, maybe the one thing that I'm focused on isn't so different from all these other things in like this specific aspect. Like maybe I should be a little more open-minded and consider that just because someone hasn't done something yet doesn't mean I can't be the one to do it.
They might have gone a little bit too far, as nobody's beaten it to this day. It takes all of the
Exactly. Air travel wasn't possible 100 years ago, and now there's an airport in every major city.
most undesired gameplay tropes like spam, two-player, and memory, and combine.
Y'all gotta look at GD like you're a freaking dude building a freaking I don't know, like building the Colosseum in Rome. I don't know.
them all into a level that,
You know what I'm saying?
to this point, hasn't received a single victor, despite being rated legendary back in February. The only player with serious progress right now is Bleod, who prior to this had beaten
I know some people are going to hear this and they're just going to rage bait themselves, but I'm saying this to motivate you all. I'm saying this to inspire you. I'm not like, if anything of what I'm saying right now is pissing you off, you are completely misunderstanding and misconstruing what I'm trying to say. You should be excited. You should feel like you want to go to war with the game right now.
Marion Shade and Tenkai Solo. They have the level in 3 connected runs right now, and after a short break, has
Sorry, I'm a pretty passionate guy.
announced they will be coming back to hopefully finish the job. This level will likely take a long time to ever be placed, just because there's 0 solid opinions to pull from at the moment. These are all intimidating levels in their own right, but let's take a look at future levels that could dwarf all of these.
Whoa. Wait, chat keeps mentioning Bee Crusher.
To start, we have UNB Crusher, the current hardest 2-player extreme, in a level that would place very highly on the list if it were to be beaten solo. The community has it in 2 runs, so it's certainly possible this could come along and take Codependence's role as the scariest 2-player level
Oh my god, they have like text-based stuff in this? Wait, this is actually a movie.
on the list. The main frontrunner is Git, who has 63% on the level right now. They also have 18 to 81 to add to that progress. There's also Magnific Cub, who has 54 to 100. The main obstacle to this being done solo seems to be 18 to 27. If someone out there can get consistent at it, maybe this joining the top 10 will become a reality.
Wait, this level's a movie. Wait, should I play, what was it called? Bees are inside of my head and I can't get them out of me? What was that level called?
Even farther into the future, we have the aptly named Zoink Never Clear. This level has a $1,000 bounty on it, and yet there's been 0 notable progress so far. I recommend you watch Smarted's video on why the level is made, but in essence, it's meant to push the
Oh yeah, Bee Crusher, thanks.
limits of 2-player as a potential evolution of difficulty when single-player gameplay reaches its limit. It's also a remake of a Lost Impossible level Smarted made when they were a kid. It's meant to be something in the distance for players to eventually conquer down the line. The current world record is only 23%, so it likely will take a very long time before it ever sees its verification. All of these levels are interesting in their own ways and set up the groundwork for underrated players to get the spotlight for a little bit in a competitive scene that is increasingly dominated by the same handful of players. People like Aganom, SpookXD, WizKid, and more were able to make names for themselves off doing what everyone else wouldn't. Levels that focus on the unconventional keep the top play scene more accessible in a way. The future is exciting with more avenues to explore than purely ship and wave.
Hey. Wait, W Chill Playout. Wait, so chat, are all these levels easier than Eternus? Should I play these levels instead of Eternus? Thoughts? Don't play it, it's not worth it? What if I want to? When did this come out? Literally yesterday, brother. People suggested in our Discord. Speaking of, WReact, y'all, link in the description to join our Discord. Go to the React to This Teach channel. Drop the videos you want me to react to. Fire react to the ones that your other community members in the Discord have already added in order to upvote them so I know which ones you want me to react to. And take care of yourselves in the meantime. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Did you like that? Don't even pretend like you didn't. You made it that far in the video. Well, did you know that I stream Monday through Friday on Twitch and YouTube, and you could catch me live and get to be a part of the experience when it happens? Also, if you don't care about that, or otherwise you want to see more of the video that you just watched, link in the description to watch the full VOD. Do that, please. I have a black eye because I play basketball sometimes. Bye. Oh,